Hello friends, my name is Mohsin Mullah and I welcome you all to this video lecture. So this is a video lecture on Unit 3 of Electrical Installation and Estimation subject. In this video lecture we are going to see purchasing system. So before this particular topic already we have seen contracting principle. So wherein we have already seen that if a particular project is to be undertaken, then it requires various materials for completion of that project. For that there has to be a purchasing department. So the role of that purchasing department is to get the requisition from whatever different departments are working on that project, and based on the requisition they have to determine who are the suppliers of those material in the nearby areas or outside the areas or even out of the country if particular equipment is to be purchased only from the outside country. So then once those whatever quotations are obtained, then they have to determine based on their you can say one comparative statement needs to be prepared by the purchasing department. So based on that comparative statement, the best supplier who is economical and also provides good quality equipment or components is identified, and that will be finalized, and then there will be a purchase order issued in the name of that particular supplier, and that supplier will issue the different you can say material required to the project work. So those all things we had already seen. So only I think I had not given the purchase order format, so that I will upload in the Google Classroom itself, so you can refer to that. It will be just a simple order of whatever we require. It will be just like quotation. Here only we need to change the wording so as to make sure that he supplies the given the list below. Okay, so if you have the that quotation form, so you can convert the same into a purchase order also. Anyhow, I will upload that in your Google Classroom. You can refer that later. So now in this particular video I'm gonna walk you through some of the aspects of purchasing department. Here basically two types of purchasing department will be there. Okay, so one is first of all let us go through the functions of purchasing department, and then we will go to the types of the purchasing department. So here basically what are the functions of purchasing department? So as I explained earlier that purchase department has to make sure that the procurement of the material is done. So here I have listed different functions. So procurement of stores through procurement of stores means nothing but the different components required in the store through indigenous and foreign sources. Indigenous means within the country, foreign sources out of the country as required in accordance with the rules in the force. Okay, so while procuring the different components and equipment, we have to make sure that the whatever rules are laid by the authorities, they are followed. So randomly we cannot just procure anything at any cost. The next is checking of requisitions, then purchase indents. So various departments of that main purchasing department will be giving some requisitions for different equipments, different components required during their project work. Now the purchase department has to check all the requisitions, then also he has to prepare the purchase indents, whatever things are to be procured, so indents will be filled. So those also needs to be verified by the purchasing department. Okay, so then there will be selection of suppliers for issue of enquiries. So based on the requisition and the available catalogs with the purchase department, the people in the purchase department will prepare list of suppliers to whom the quotations call for letter will be sent to receive the various quotations for those equipment or components required. Then finally issue enquiries or tenders or obtain the quotations. So either enquiries can be issued to different suppliers or tenders can be asked through the paper advertisements, and also we can directly send letters to the suppliers to give the quotations for the whatever equipment are required. The next is analysis of the quotations and bids Bids means whoever has filled the different tenders. Then preparation of comparative statement. Now what will happen when the suppliers will send the quotations? So many of the suppliers will give different types of discounts. So based on the discounts for the same quality equipment, same brand equipment, so it is possible that we may get at cheaper rate from some suppliers. So those will be preferred and identified through the comparative statement. Then consultation with the indentor for selection and approval of quotations with account officer for pre-audit. So here whoever is finalized, so once the final quotation is means that comparative statement is prepared, the supplier is identified, then that supplier will be consulted with the indentor whoever has given the requisition for his approval of the quotation. So he should be agreed with the, you can say, the quantity, also the quality of the different components and equipment that supplier is going to supply, and it will be consulted with the account officer for pre-audit. So whatever cost has been given, so whether it is as per the government norms or not, so that also needs to be audited before pre-hand only, so that will be before audit. Then next is negotiating contracts. So once the that particular supplier is finalized, then there will be negotiation of the contracts regarding the terms and condition. So even after finalizing the that particular supplier, we may negotiate for some bargain, some other kind of facilities, delivery at the you can say project point, and servicing of the equipment, replacement of the damaged equipments, etc. So those needs to be finalized before placing the order. Then checking legal conditions of contract. Once that things are prepared in the form of contract, then we have to check the legal conditions of that contract, whether it is legally binding or not. Okay, so then consultative administrative officer or secretary wherever necessary. So if there is any doubt, so higher authorities can be consulted, like administrative officer or secretary of the organization will be consulted for that contract. Then finally, once it is finalized in this particular stage, then purchase order will be issued to the supplier. So this purchase order will be even issued by the purchasing department. Then once purchase order is placed, then follow up purchase orders for delivery in due time. Once the purchase order is placed, the supplier needs to supply the required equipment in the given time period. So therefore that supplier needs to be taken follow up continuously in order to get the required material in time. So next is verification and passing of suppliers bills, okay, to see that payments are made promptly. Whatever equipment have been procured, for that he will send the bills. So the purchase department also functions to verify those bills, whether they are as per the quoted values or as per the contract. Everything, terms and conditions have been we can say followed in the preparation of bills. So then once the bills are passed, then the payment needs to be made to the supplier. So that payment will also go through the purchase department. Okay, so these are the functions of purchasing department. So now there are some responsibilities also of purchasing department. So purchasing department not only does all that earlier tasks, but also performs these duties, or you can say roles or responsibilities. So the question may be asked in various ways. So it is a tricky kind of thing, because the functions also look similar and responsibilities also look similar, but there are minute differences. So you need to prepare as it is in order to avoid any kind of confusion. So here I have listed the different responsibilities of purchasing department. So one responsibility is correspondence and dealing with the supplier. So purchasing department has to fulfill this responsibility, that they need to keep in touch with the different suppliers. Then they have to make sure whatever supply is being, or stored components are being degraded or falling short. So those should be promptly conveyed to the suppliers in order to procure them before the stock runs out. Then if there is any kind of you can say fault or defect in the procured components, so the equipment should be rejected. So that is also a responsibility of the purchasing department. then reported by the stores department. Then maintenance of purchase records, whatever things are purchased, used, issued, replaced, everything, so all the records should be entered in the proper registers, and it should be maintained cumulatively, day by day, month on month, week on week, month on month, and year on year, like that. So that is also responsibility of purchasing department. Then maintenance of progressive expenditure statement subhead wise, so whatever have been purchased, so there will be a, we can say, cumulative expenditure occurring or incurring in the purchase of various equipments or components required by different project works. So there has to be a proper register maintained for progressive expenditure with the subhead wise. Okay. Then there will be maintenance of vendor performance record and data. So whoever vendor is there, so whatever equipment he is been supplying, so whether he is supplying promptly, whether he is providing any services demanded, those all things should also be recorded. So like it is a vendor performance record. An arrangement for insurance surveys as and when necessary. So once the purchase has been done, so again the purchase department's responsibility is to for the insurance surveys, because when equipment is procured, so it might fail in operation, so for that insurance should be there. So that is also taken care by the purchasing department, so that is the responsibility of the purchase department. Then clearance of foreign consignment, so sometimes the equipment will be procured from other countries, so those consignments needs to be cleared at the customs, so that responsibility is also by the purchase department. Keeping various departments, divisions informed of the progress of their indents in case of delay in obtaining supplies. So other departments should be timely informed about the progress of their indents. Once they give the indent, means the different purchase departments, different departments and divisions of the particular organization will be giving some forms for the required equipments, material, whatever stores. So those once they submit, so those people, those divisions, those sub departments needs to be continuously given updates regarding their requisition form. So when the supply will arrive, or if there is any kind of delay in the supply, so etc. So continuously they should give the you can say report to the whoever has filled the intents. Then serving as an information center on the materials knowledge and their prices, sources of supply, specifications, and other allied matters. So serving as information center is very important role. So because the purchasing department needs to procure whatever required promptly, and therefore they should have complete list of suppliers available with them for various equipment required for different types of projects carried by that particular organization. Okay, so if there is electrical organization, so electrical organization will be knowing what equipment it will be requiring for carrying out various projects at different ratings, different levels. For that, different suppliers will be available in the market, so that list should be available at the purchasing department. It is the responsibility of the purchasing department to maintain that list. And also different material knowledge, what are material are available in the market, that should also be known to the purchase department, and their current prices, as prices will be continuously changing depending upon the government policies. Then source of supply, then specification and other allied matters. So almost all the information regarding the different equipment purchase, their prices, their suppliers, availability, manufacturers, brandings, qualities, everything, specifications, everything should be available in the purchase department. So they will act as the source of information for the entire organization. Okay, then finally the development of reliable and alternate sources of supply. So they have to ultimately develop reliable and alternate sources of supply for the different equipment. So some suppliers if fail to supply, so alternate sources should be available immediately for getting the requisition fulfilled and to get started with the project work. So it should not be halted because of the shortfall of the supply or unavailability of a particular supplier to fulfill that whatever we wanted to procure from him. So in that case, alternate sources of supply should be available in the purchase department. Okay, so now there are two ways in which the purchasing can be done. One is centralized procurement or purchase. So this is also purchase, don't get confused. Okay, so purchase is very generic name, procurement is the proper you can say name for that. So centralized procurement means that a single department controls and manages the purchasing for the whole organization. So if there is a company, so only one centralized procurement department will be there, so that will take care of all the purchasing of that particular organization. There will not be any other department doing that part. Ideally, a manager oversees the purchasing department, okay, regarding what materials need to be purchased and in what quantity. So a manager will be taking the role as the head of the purchase department here, okay, and what regarding what materials need to be purchased, material needed, then also quantity of the material. The single purchasing department is generally located in the headquarters, and that will be located in the headquarters. Okay, so now like Flipkart, Amazon, these kind of companies are there. So these organizations also require different equipment, so they do not purchase it at different stages or levels. So directly at the headquarters they do all the purchasing, and they will distribute to the various divisions and different can say their units across the country. Then where this centralized procurement will be suitable, so suitability of centralized purchase department is also very important here. So one or more production centers or plants are closely located. Okay, so here this one or more production centers or plants are closely located. So this purchase department headquarter is, suppose it is located in particular city where different production centers are available, different plants are available, manufacturers are available. So in that case the centralized purchase will work very well, so it will be suitable there. Then also the plant uses one basic raw material. There are not many various material required by that organization, but only one basic raw material for production or production centers for the production of standard products. So only one material is required, then directly one department can purchase from the particular supplier for that. So only centralized purchasing system will be sufficient in that case. Then there is decentralized procurement also. So here this with this method, rather than leaving the purchasing control with a single department, okay, so instead of single department, it is granted to local branches or departments. They have the authority to purchase items necessary as per their requirements. Okay, so now for example take the electricity supply companies. Okay, so here independently each of the substation is independent to do their own purchasing, even though it comes under the you can say public sector utility, that supply company at one particular location, but still at different substation level. So they have their own purchase department and they perform the duties of that purchase department, and they get the required equipment in that particular area of operation of that particular substation. So where it is suitable, so production centers are located distantly. Okay, so when there is not a particular area where the plants are available or production centers are available, in that if the different suppliers are scattered, in that case different means wherever divisions are available, so through that division itself they can run their own purchase department and get the whatever equipment or components are required directly from their own places. Then the plants for producing different products produce different raw materials. So here not single raw material is required, but different raw materials are required. In that case also decentralized purchasing system is very suitable. Okay, so these are the main you can say aspects of the centralized and decentralized procurement, and it is not over here. Still lot of things are to be discussed about the centralized and decentralized procurement. We are going to see the merits and demerits, and also we are going to finally draw the comparison between them, so which is very important topic. So that I am going to cover in the next video lecture. Okay, Till then, happy learning.